Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you are welcome. In today's video we are going to look at the topic, you are your marriage. I believe marriage isn't for everyone. I believe that marriage isn't for everyone because we have some people who have said to themselves, no marriage for me. I'm going to devote my whole life in serving God. Now, people see marriage as a second-class state. That's how some people see marriage nowadays, that it's really not important. And some also don't really value marriage. And they have their own reasons for thinking that way. And I believe it's because of what is happening nowadays in some marriages, that we see around. So some people are really not keen in getting married. But I beg to differ. Marriage isn't a second-class state. The reason why I'm saying this is because, if it were true, God wouldn't have said in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 that it is not good for a man to live alone. And then why did God even create human, the male and the female from the beginning? And why did God bless Adam and Eve with these words that be fruitful and multiply, right? And then I believe that God is so much interested in us, getting married. It is so easy to think that other people will experience divorce, you will experience, infidelity, and some fights for some silly reasons, But for you, your marriage is okay and is immune to headaches and other negativities. It's fine to think that way. But how many of us would want to walk down the aisle if, we know that in the end our marriages will end in the courtroom? Nobody would do that, right? Nobody would want to do that. If I know that at the end of the day, if I marry, my marriage will end up in the courtroom, I will divorce, then it's better I don't even consider marriage, right? But that is not what God wants for us, because He's so much interested in our marriages. The truth is, no relationship comes with a lifetime guarantee, because men and women who, grew up in a better home and in a well-brought-up home are even facing these challenges, their marriages. And further, people who go to church and consider themselves Christians think that they have principles from the Bible that they can apply to their marriages, and they're going to have a very good foundation. And they think that because they have those principles, they have an advantage over our unbelieving neighbors and friends, right? But how do we even know that? I think that the reason why God created marriage was for a reason, right? God created marriage for us to be in partnership, for us to have a ritual intimacy, so that both parties can pursue Him together. The most misconception that Christians have about their marriage is they pray that they get married to their soulmate. I often hear people say, she completes me, he completes me. I think nobody can complete anyone. It is only God who can complete us. For me, from my view, nobody can complete anyone. We are all a work in progress. The only person who is so perfect to the core is God. And He is the only person who can make us complete. So if you are thinking that your partner, should be like God to you, then you are going to have your partner committing mistakes, errors every blessed day, because nobody can live to that expectation. right? Nobody can live to that expectation. You can never be perfect. So, we only get better day in and day out as we get closer to God and we know God's way concerning our marriages and our relationships. So don't look at your partner as a God, or don't think that your partner should be, like God to you. You will have a shock of your life. You'll be asking whether really this is the person I married from church. Yes, he's human. He can never equate himself or herself to God. But it is God alone that can be perfect. So, at some point when you have your partner, committing some mistakes or doing something against you, and then your partner comes back to apologize and begs for your forgiveness, the moment you forgive the person, right, and you accept the person back, it means that you are modeling God to your partner. So you are letting your partner know that you are exercising, grace and mercy because of who God is in your life. When I said you are your marriage right from my introduction, what I'm trying to say is that the way you lay your bed, that is how you're going to lie in it. Whatever thing that you condone in your relationship, whatever thing that you accept, whether positive or negative, know that whatever decision you make before you enter into marriage, they are not going to change. When you are in a long-term relationship, you tend to make certain decisions, both big and small, right? But when it comes to marriage, or probably taking a leap and deciding to get married, we oftentimes neglect certain things in our relationship. We neglect certain negativities in our relationship, and then we just jump into the marriage. In as much as you are so happy about getting to marry your partner and stay happily ever after, you don't have to know right from the word go how to communicate with your husband to be, and then know your partner on a deeper level. The number one advice that I want to share with you is, before you make that commitment of getting yourself into marriage, you have to open your eyes to red flags. Don't ignore, red flags. Don't ever ignore red flags, because these are the little things that wreck our marriages. When something is happening in your relationship and you think that you're not too comfortable with it, address the situation head on with your partner. Address it head on. Even if it is every blessed day that you would have to address certain mistakes or problems that crops up every blessed day, keep on addressing it. Don't ever ignore those, those red flags. Keep on address it head on. You and your partner must get on a common ground and get the understanding that really what we are seeing, what we are experiencing, all these, happenings, yes, we have to talk about it. We have to solve, those little problems, so that you don't enter into the marriage and then later on expect that those negativities will change. My dear, negativities do not change. They do not go away. They do not fade with time. Red flags do not fade with time, but rather they grow. They grow. So along the line, they become so big that the problems you face become bigger and you can't handle it anymore. You may ask, what are the red flags? When you have a gut feeling that do not go away, don't even believe what your partner tells you on daily basis. There's no trust. It means that your instinct is telling you something. It's an indication that there is a problem. So you'd have to listen to your instinct. But in as much as you are listening to your instinct, make sure that whatever thing that you are feeling is the right thing. You don't just, have a gut feeling because of what somebody told you, because of what you saw. You would have to dig in, find out why what happened, before you make a decision. If not, you might probably lose something that is so precious to you. And then the next one is when you see yourself ignoring your friends and family because of your relationship, probably because your friends probably saw something or your family members saw something, and it's not coincident that all your friends and family are saying the same thing. There's some negativity that is happening in your relationship, but you decided to overlook those things, and for you not to be answerable to anybody, you decide to just shut them out. I mean, yes, you don't have to entertain friends in your relationship. Some friends are even bad, but be careful when you see yourself, ignoring your friends and family, especially your family members, your immediate family members. And then, when you're always putting your needs second. Relationships are supposed to be mutually beneficial, right? To both parties. So yes, you can't always have yourself putting your needs second all the time, right? You are the only person sacrificing the relationship. Your other partner is not doing much. You understand that, but there should be some kind of help, some kind of sacrifice from both parties. But if it has to do with just one person, doing all the sacrifice, then what do you call it? It's a red flag, And then you keep scores. Make sure you don't keep scores. Every time it's like you're always reminding your partner of what mistakes he has done or she has done, referring her to her past, always reminding him or her of something. These things are not healthy in any relationship. So we have to take note of all these red flags. But you would have to work on all those red flags. The moment you see, you don't just jump out. Make sure you dig in, find out why all those red flags are coming out in your relationship, and make sure you work towards it. If it doesn't work with time and you feel that you've done your bit, you're still not seeing what you're supposed to see, then you can decide to walk out of the relationship so that nobody wastes your time. Advice number 2 that I'll give you is loving someone is a choice. You made your own decision that I want to go out with this person. It was your personal decision, right? So loving someone is a choice. You can't let anyone force you to love someone. You love people because you decide to love them. So don't assume that every day of your relationship or your marriage, especially your marriage, have it at the back of your mind that every day is not going to be a fun-filled, lovey-dovey relationship. You're not going to find that in your marriage. There are sometimes you will encounter certain challenges, right? Yeah, sometimes you go like you want to be alone. You want, a long moment. You don't feel like talking to your partner. It's not that you are sad. It's not that you hate your partner, but it happens naturally, right? There are moments everybody would want to have a me time, right? And then so you can't always have your partner always giving you what you want, that kind of happiness that you want, or the fun that you always want to have in your marriage. You can't always have. And also know that when you view love as a choice, you exercise grace, mercy, and unconditional love to your partner. But if you view love as a feeling, I feel like, oh, that's the way I'm feeling. If you view love as a feeling, my dear, you fall out as quickly as you fell in. When you view love as a feeling, you will fall out quickly as you fell in. Because love is not all about feeling. What if someone hurts your feeling? It means that the person doesn't love you or what? It's bound to happen. And view love as a choice that you decided, it is your choice that you want to, go out with such a person, marry this person, come low or high waters. You want to be with the person. No matter the circumstance, you want to be with the person. That is your choice. But make sure that the choice you are making, it's not somebody who is going to, at the end of the day, abuse you. You don't go all out for that person. Choose wisely. Make that choice that you're going to love the person through and through. Don't view love as a feeling, because feeling fades. At some point you feel like, at some point you don't feel like. So what happens when you don't feel like? So you have to take notice of that. The third one is talk about your future before committing into the marriage. Know exactly what the two of you want know where you want to live, the number of kids you want to have, the kind of environment you want to find yourself. All these things must be discussed before you jump into the marriage. Because if you don't do that and then you go and you meet surprises, that is why you begin to say that, I thought this person was like, I thought he was like that, I thought she was like that. You know, somebody will think that, okay, right after marriage, what I can afford is a 2-bedroom house, right? I can just go for a 2-bedroom house or a chamber and a hall. And then the other partner will also be thinking of 3-bedroom house, 6-bedroom house, a mansion. Or probably want to start some project. One partner will say, let's start with 3-bedroom house. And then the other partner will say, let's start with 6-bedroom house. You know, your strength. How best can you get those projects done? Talk about all these things, so that when you get into the marriage, you are going in with a common mind and goal. But if you don't talk about it and then you enter into the marriage, and it's like this person is like, I want this, and this person is like, I want that, and there's no agreement to those decisions, there will be problems. Then only get married when you want to get married. Don't let anyone force you into marriage. Only get married when you are ready. And seriously, when the two of you are so ready and have interest to be with each other, that is where you think of marriage. Don't go into the marriage because you've spent all your time with this guy or with this lady and you are afraid of losing. So, changing actually someone to tag you along. My dear, if you have set timeline for yourself that within 2 years, getting into a relationship, I need to be married, and you find yourself that after 2 years, you are still in the same relationship, the guy is not making any effort, there's no any big plans, no commitment to any big plans, and you are the only person who is thinking marriage in the future, oh yeah, go. Don't waste your time in that relationship. As early as possible, just walk away. It is different when the two of you decide that, okay, we are not ready. Both of us are not ready. We want to, probably some people will even say that we want to be in a cohabitation kind of relationship. Marriage can go to hell. We want to just be, together, have our children without marriage and all that. It is their decision. But if you have in mind that you want to get married in that relationship and your partner is not thinking, about that, and you've been in that relationship for 2 years, 3 years, oh yeah, go. Pack your things and go. And go and look for somebody who is ready, who has timeline like you, and is ready to get married. And the two of you can make a better pair than wasting your time in a relationship that you don't even know when the guy is going to commit. You don't even know when the lady is going to commit. So yes, get married when you are ready to get married. Don't let family members force you. Don't let age push you into marriage that you are not ready for. The next thing is, I don't even know which of the numbers come in. So the next thing is, communicate with your partner what you want in the marriage. Communicate with your partner what you want in the marriage. Some of us make unrealistic decisions, unfair decisions. So the two of you must be on agreement to certain decisions that you take. You would want to, execute when you get married. Because if both parties have, different goals and values, the marriage will not last. It will not see the light of day. Make realistic decisions and fair ones, the ones your strength can handle. God, when God blesses you, then you make changes to your commitment, to the decisions you've already made. But start little and grow big. Don't just start, boom, you want to become big. You can't compare a 1-year marriage to a 10 years marriage. You can't compare that. Next thing is, there should be mutual respect. The mutual respect is mandatory. It's not a choice as to whether I want to respect you or I don't want to respect. Make sure the two of you respect it. Don't enter into the marriage with someone who doesn't respect anyone, doesn't respect you in person, doesn't respect any family member, doesn't even respect friends around. Look for somebody who will grace you with his words. We need to respect each other, please. You don't even have to compromise on it. You have to. give respect to each other and respect your marriage. Respect that relationship in which you are in. Don't go exposing everything about you to your friends, family. Keep your relationship, private. You want everybody to know what is happening in your relationship. What are we going to use that one for? We don't need it. If you want the wolves, right, to come around and feast on your relationship, then keep on, putting everything out there. The two of you should work hand in hand to make your relationship better. It's very important. Mutual respect is important. Finally, don't let minor disagreements, turn into a major rift. When there are little misunderstanding here and there, little fight here and there, the two of you must find a common ground, to solve the problem. Don't let it linger on for long, because when you don't, talk about it, you don't discuss it, you don't solve the problem, and then you leave it like that, little, fight will cause the marriage to have a big gap, because you've already, accumulated resentment and pain and all that because of, disagreement. And every time you are disagreeing with your partner, it's not a healthy one. You need to find a common ground. You can't always be winning. Sometimes you need to look at your partner's perspective, and sometimes succumb. Just let it go. Don't always be like, you want to be right. You can't always be right. So when there are disagreement, find a common ground and solve the problem and keep going. That is the only way you can make your marriage work. So yes, I have this last advice for we the ladies. If you want to keep the marriage life real, stop chasing the spark. I am not scaring anyone. I'm just stating the obvious. And be content with normal, because that is what is going to happen when the man gets married. The man needs peace. He doesn't need anything extra to the marriage. So he wants the normal things. Everything should be normal. Go normal. Don't try to be too extra. Especially in certain areas of the marriage. There are certain areas, of course, you can go all out and all that, but there are others you have to go normal. They want their peace when they get married, and that is the way it goes. You are your marriage, guys. You are your marriage. However you treat your partner now, right? That is the same way you are going to treat them later on. However you treat your partner now, that is the same way you are going to treat them later on, or probably in the marriage. Because however you see it, whoever you are, that is the same person you are going to be in your marriage. So you are your marriage. If you have negative attributes, your marriage will be negative. If you have positive attributes, your marriage will be fruitful. And everything about your marriage will be positive because of who you are, because of the person you're married. So you are your marriage. Apply wisdom in every decision that you take. And don't forget God, because it is only God who will direct your path. He will direct your path. So don't keep him out of the equation. Let him be in the center of everything that you do and every decision that you take. And we will have a blissful marriage, and we will live happily ever after. So yes, guys, this is the end of the advice that I needed to share with you. So yes, if you find this video helpful, please share to your friends and family, those people who need this kind of advice. Share to them. Until I come your way next week Thursday, keep faith alive. God bless you.